I'm Dana Uloth and I'm a supporter of the Royal Humane Society. I'm reading about an event that happened on Mount Everest. At midnight on the 20th of May 2016, Leslie Binns, a former soldier who was climbing Mount Everest, was about 500 metres from the summit. Leslie, who had lost an eye in an IED attack in Afghanistan, saw a woman who was trying to negotiate an obstacle when she fell. Leslie reached out and grabbed her as she fell. She was showing signs of cerebral edema. By taking off her protective clothes, so Leslie unzipped her jacket, put her gloves back on, and gave her some of his oxygen as her tank was empty. He watched her go a little way down the slope, but soon realised she was too exhausted. He abseiled down to her and gave her a new oxygen tank. He and a Sherpa attached themselves to the woman, and they descended a fixed line. When the fixed line stopped, they travelled for about 30 metres to where another line continued downwards. Visibility was almost nil, and snowfall had covered climbers' tracks, so they could not find the start of the next fixed line. They saw a man about 100 metres down the mountain who was waving and shouting. They got down to him using crampons, but were disappointed to find he too was in real trouble. The four of them then clipped themselves together and continued to descend, with Leslie leading. Both the two sick climbers kept collapsing, so progress was very slow. Eventually there was a break in the weather and the Sherpa unclipped, found the fixed line and then descended, leaving Leslie with the others. Leslie unclipped himself and tried to retrieve the fixed line, but found it impossible. Suddenly all three of them began to slip down the mountain, but luckily Leslie got a crampon to bite. He found the other two climbers nearby in a crevasse. Deciding he had to help the woman first, he moved her by piggyback all the way down to Camp 4. By now, Leslie was exhausted, having been climbing for 9 hours with no sustenance. He put her into his own sleeping bag, used a flask of tea to warm her hands, and then he passed out. Waking an hour later, he got into the sleeping bag as he too now was suffering badly from the cold. At daylight, he heard voices and went out to find an American climbing group, so he told them about the male climber who was still up the mountain. They rescued the man, but he later died on the descent. Realising he had sacrificed his chances of reaching the summit, Leslie set off down the mountain on his own. For his extraordinary bravery, Leslie was awarded the Royal Humane Society Silver Medal.